Good afternoon and welcome to the Windsor Star's Net News at Noon. I'm Craig Pearson with Donald McArthur, bringing you the best from the paper and the web. CAW Local 444 boss Rick Laporte says he is seriously considering running for mayor. He's frustrated with the way Eddie Francis has been running the city, and he says he's going to make his decision by the end of next week. Local 444, by the way, has about 10,000 workers.
Okay. Anyway, our poll question of the day, folks, asked you what you think of Windsor Mayor Eddie Francis's decision to run for a third term. So far, make sure you vote, but so far 55% of you support that decision. Big day, of course, around this place yesterday. We had, Craig was out of town, but we had Francis here on the Net News.
Yeah.
And then he actually stuck around for a while and did a live chat, and he answered your questions. Now, you can still read that. It's on our editor's picks there on the bottom of the website. Read it, Q&A. We're going to do more of these as the campaign progresses, so stay tuned.
And local MPP and Finance Minister Dwight Duncan is squaring off against some powerful public sector unions. He says he wants to actually freeze wages for 2 years. Meanwhile, CAW boss Ken Loenza called the proposal tremendously short-sighted and unfair.
Okay. From Afghanistan, a 24-year-old Canadian soldier has been shot and killed while on foot patrol. 24-year-old sapper Brian Collier from Bradford, Ontario, is the 151st Canadian soldier to die in Afghanistan since 2002.
Canadian, or I should say former Canadian media mogul Conrad Black is going to be getting out of prison. He was actually granted $2 million bail in a Chicago courtroom this morning. They changed some laws in the States. The Supreme Court affected it, so his fraud convictions are going to be retried. And the condition is he cannot leave the United States.
Okay, and kudos, guys, to the workers at the GM transmission plant. Okay, they're going to be shutting the doors at that facility next week, but the guys and girls there, they still dug deep, donated about $15,000 to the United Way. So good work there.
Absolutely. And another local person who's probably in line for some big checks is LaSalle native David Finch, who just got a gig to do the Batman series. Look at that. That is fantastic artwork. This, by the way,
hi, David. Welcome to the show.
This is not David Finch. It's David Finch's stand-in, our own Dalson Chen, who's going to be writing about him for tomorrow.
Yeah, for the scene page.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what he's got.
Well, David Finch, he's 38 years old. He's a LaSalle resident, and amongst comic book fans, he's revered as a god for his bold, muscular drawing style. And now he's landed the biggest gig of his career. He's going to be entirely responsible for a new Batman comic book called Batman the Dark Knight, due for release this fall.
What I like about this concept, I get the idea, is it's sort of like the movie The Dark Knight. In other words, it's a little bit of a darker version.
Yes, yeah. He says he intends to bring an almost supernatural approach to the character. Batman will be this ominous, solitary figure, this bane upon street-level crime.
And now, is he doing the covers for it or the whole book?
He's responsible for the whole thing. That's why it's such a big gig for him. He's going to be writing it. He's going to be drawing it. He's going to have tremendous creative control. Now, mind you, he says he's going to be very respectful of the source material. He says he's a big Batman fan. He's been a lifelong dream of his to draw Batman, and now this is a fulfillment of a childhood ambition.
Well, yeah, this guy is a rock star online. You Google his name like he's everywhere. Yeah. And the one thing I saw this morning, I Googled his name, and the thing he really likes about Batman, he was saying, and maybe he spoke to you about this, is like, you know very clearly with Batman, right or wrong, black and white, like this, this sort of moral paradigm, like Batman's the man.
Yep, that's true.
But my guess is with The Dark Knight, it won't be that. I bet you there's going to be blurred lines. There's going to be a bit more gray that he's going to be...
I don't know, brother. He said in an interview with some sort of comic book syndicate that you always know how it's going to end up with Batman.
Well, how
Batman's
it ends up,
always going to do the right thing.
Yeah. But anyway, so just a little bit about what he's done. It's not like they just phoned him up at home and said, hey, do you like to draw? I mean, this guy's been doing some big work already.
He's known for his highly detailed style. It's he's got a really striking use of shadow, and he's done X-Men. He's done a bunch of titles for Marvel Comics, but... in January, it was announced that he was moving to D.C. They contracted him. They headhunted him. And from the sounds of it, they made this project with him in mind.
Well, I think the other stuff, he was painting the covers, but now he's going to be doing the whole book.
Yeah. Actually, he's going to be doing a collaboration with Grant Morrison, who's a comic book writer that's coming out in October, called Batman the Return, which will kick off his whole new series.
Excellent. Thanks very much.
Okay, make sure you read that story in tomorrow's scene page, online and on your porch. We are the Windsor Star.